Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sox Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Teresa E.
Ooh, it's us. Thank you, Quernsey. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If I, Beef Loaf, reference a meme, we're talking about my very well-regarded and popular podcast, The Au Jus, you drink. If My Sox Summer mentions his time on the West Coast, blames his kids for something, or says he simply does not have enough time, you drink. And if Teresa shows up in the comments and makes MSS appear to be dumb or geeks out about some play he saw, you go ahead and drink one more time. And all of you can make us drink for a tip of $1.08 or more. We prefer more. That's a super chat, if you will. We call them tips, but they're super chats. But I have a super important question for my guy, My Sox Summer, right now. And that question is, what are you drinking and are you on the quest, my friend? Quest for 50. Are you on it? Are you here with me?
Shockingly, no. I am not on the quest tonight. Little short of time. So have a drink. I took a nap this afternoon. I was like, I gotta rest up for tonight. My body just told me this afternoon, it was like, yo, you are tired. You need to lay down for a little bit. And I go, I will listen to you, body. Thank you. So, but I'm going to reward it with some Knob Creek 9-year. So if you're not familiar with Knob Creek, it's a really good pull. It's a very decently priced bottle. It's 100 proof. So I just took my first drink, and we're back in the saddle here, boys. I'm getting ready for the weekend.
And post nap, My Sox Summer. Does it get a little, does the fire water hit you a little faster or slower? Are you the rest help you? How does it work?
Listen, I took a nap, and then I drove down and picked up the kids and did all this stuff, and then taught T-ball. It's post nap. My Sox Summer was busy as fuck. I did wake up a little disorientated, and I was like, uh-oh. And then I was like, y'all, you better put some shorts on. It's kind of hot out there. And then it got cold again, and then it got hot, and then it was cold, and then it was hot, and it was
You're having hot flashes is what it sounds like to me.
No,
you're going through menopause right now, My Sox Summer. Thoughts and prayers to you, my friend. I'm so sorry to hear that.
The sun's out, the sun's down. The sun's out, the sun's down. Is it going to rain? Is it not going to rain? Like 20 times I almost practice or cancel practice because of the goddamn weather. But look,
I liked how you said you're teaching T-ball, because I just envision like a whiteboard and you with a bunch of like equations and graphics and pictures up there and shit.
Clear. Yes, that's exactly what I do. You should see me out in the Donovan Park with my whiteboard and my different colored magic markers going to town on that part. But we'll talk more about that in a second. But Loaf, what are you drinking?
I am on the quest, motherfucker. I'm
so proud of you. I know what you have.
Bonita and I, we go through these weekend drives or whatever. I went out. I said, you got some time, girl? We're going to get a long drive here. She said, yeah, no problem. We drove out by Midway. I went to Archer Liquors because I know Archer Liquors has this beer.
It's a good price.
It is Stroh's. It is on the list. It is Stroh's. I had a couple sips already. This is like the beer that your dad had extra ones in the back of the beer fridge. You probably wouldn't notice that you had them. And so you would sip these ones because they taste like beer, but it's old man beer. This is like the quintessential old man beer. I'm enjoying it so far, but I unfortunately had to do the thing Treasy said don't do, and that was I had to buy a 30 rack because they didn't have a smaller denomination. No 12 packs, no 6 packs, no nothing. Fucking 30 rack only, but it's been chilling in my beer fridge, and it tastes good enough for right now.
Guess I know that what we're drinking during the Sunday soak, probably Stroh's.
No.
Looking forward
all
to
for
that.
me. All for me.
For you.
All for me. One quick thing in the comments here.
Yeah.
Alex Rude, he put this question up before the show started. MSS and I were pondering it. We could not fucking
I don't remember.
Understand what it was. So Alex says, Monday being the 5th means it's been 5 years since such an important day in White Sox Twitter history. How will you all be celebrating? I don't know what day that is.
I would like some hints.
I have no idea. He's got to let us know. I think it's only appropriate. We got a drink. We got to get to a drink.
Nice.
Longtime guy, Gordo. Thank you, Gordo. He says, MSS story time. There's going to be a lot of MSS
There's
today.
gonna be a lot of MSS.
Not necessarily a story, but thank you, Gordo. Appreciate you for the
Yeah. Cheers.
delicious.
So how you doing tonight, Beef Loaf?
I'm good, MSS. Let me tell you something. I don't have a ton of banter. I know we're going to get into some stuff later, but I have a couple of questions for you. A couple of general thoughts to get to real quickly. These are shorter term things. Number one, I need to get your thoughts on a thread that I've been following on Twitter for like 5 days now, and that is the challenge of 100 men going against a single gorilla. Yeah. And what side would win? And I made fun of you a little bit on Twitter. I said, what about 100 108ers going against the vanilla gorilla?
Vanilla gorilla.
You claim I'm racist by calling you the vanilla gorilla. But what about a regular gorilla against 100 men? What do you think?
Dude, I mean, so I heard this during the week, and it was on I think it was on the B96 morning show, and my girls were like, why would anyone want to beat up a gorilla? And I was like, it's just kind of a joke. Like, it's not real, but that's okay. I would like to think that 100 people could defeat a gorilla. Like, we have enough brain power to do that. Yeah. Like, gorillas they're not human, but they will slow down if you beat the shit out of them. So it's not like it's just going to be one-on-one. You would hope that the 100 people could like figure out how to like go in and attack, you know? Yeah. So I want to bet on people, but it's good people.
You want to bet on the humankind is what you'd like to do.
Like, listen, like that. Who's that asshole UFC guy? That War Machine guy that used to beat up Chrissy Mack, the porn star.
Yeah.
Like, do you think like a guy like that? If you get me 75 other guys like that, and then 25 like regular Joes, like War Machine could probably beat up a gorilla on his own. Like, if he had 75 of his mates, he's just crazy. He can just beat the shit out of him. I mean, that's where it gets rough, because you're like, if it's like guys like that, I'm good. Now, if it's guys like Wally money, like I can't. No, like it's not gonna happen. I'm taking gorilla. If I got 100 Wally monies out there, gorilla's beating the shit out of the Homo erectus Wally monies. Like, it's just no. So give me some good guys, and maybe I'm gonna take the 100 guys.
If you could handpick your group, you think you can take the 100. If it's 100 at random, you think it's the gorilla. Basically, it's kind of what you're getting at right here, right? So, that's the point.
So Ian puts in something that's really good. He's like, gorillas have the strength of like 10 people. Well, 10 times 10 is 100. So now we have the strength of 100 people against a gorilla that has the strength of 10 people. So numbers, maybe numbering, that seems like the people would win. But I know it's not that easy.
My Sox are big numbers guys saying the numbers lead you to believe the people. Maybe.
What do you think about it? Because I don't think I've seen your thoughts.
I think I haven't given my thoughts because I've been laughing so much at all the anecdotes and shit on there. I haven't given it any serious thought. I kind of think like if the humans were all to work together, they got a shot. The only problem is their spirit can be broken. The first person who gets their face ripped off by the gorilla, then people start having second thoughts. Then you're not going to have everyone who's going to want to get in a foxhole there. And that's why I think what you're right about the handpicked group maybe is gives you the best shot. Uncle Ted says we've already had Lily Phillips versus 100 men. That's a different competition. But yes, we have had that. And I don't know who. I guess she won. She probably won that. And then Bearstown says I can beat up a girl. No, you can't.
Oh, you couldn't.
No,
you could not.
You're not beating up anything. And then JT says over under how many people survive the gorilla versus White Sox wins this season. You know, I bet over 49.5. So I have to go. I have to think that the White Sox wins. Would be more than that, because I think if you got to think a lot of people to wear down the gorilla, don't you think?
Yeah, I literally though, they probably like a gorilla could kill probably 25 people easily out of the 100, right? Like the first 25 are probably
the first 25
dead.
are like they're basically dead. Yeah,
they're the warm ups. That's
my thought too was like if you're one of the guys, you got to go like the only weak spots of the gorilla is eyeballs and genitals, man. That's the only spots that are going to make any difference. What are you going to punch them in the chest? Thing is shit. Like, no, you're going to be absolutely crushed there, you know? So,
yeah, you got to beat the shit out of them.
Billy Wire says Sheen Spags versus 100 fat titties. I mean,
oh, man.
That's a toss up. I'm not sure.
That's only 50 people, though, you know?
That's true. That's absolutely true. So, yeah. All right. Well, okay. So,
Oh my God.
Teresa E has joined us. Teresa, how are you doing? What are you drinking, my friend?
You know what I got? I still got the reason I'm joining tonight is because I need to get rid of this bush. So I still got a couple 2-3 cans left. I'm gonna get through that tonight with you guys.
Just hops in.
Peter says MSS has never used advanced stats on this podcast until the gorilla conversation.
That's
absolutely, absolutely. He was doing square roots and all kinds of shit with the gorilla conversation.
Now I don't know who WSS is. I'm assuming he meant me. But C McD says WSS could beat off a gorilla, and I did see that shirt that says I'm not 100 men, but I could definitely beat off a gorilla or something like. Or I'm not a gorilla, but I can beat off 100 men. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Apparently, gorilla genitals smaller than you would think for their size.
That's why they're so angry.
That's not even. That's not the matter. Fuck.
It's like I have the strength of 10,000. I have the strength of 10 men, but my dick is a micro penis.
Littlest nuts of any animal in nature, gorilla.
Oh man,
I don't know if that's true. Proportionally, maybe. I would think there's probably some smaller nuts out there. Although I had a picture of a hamster with gigantic fucking balls, man. I couldn't even believe it. So.
Oh. Hey, take a drink, Chirizi. False start, 15-yard first down. All right.
How's it a false start?
Because you got here late. False start.
That's the exact opposite of a fucking false start.
Exactly.
Listen,
that's delay a game, baby. That's delay a game penalty.
Gabriel can beat up a gorilla. I'm not fucking around with him in here when I'm going to see him this weekend, so I got to be careful.
All right. One other quick thing I had for you, MSS.
Sure.
And this is just an either or. I saw this on Twitter too, and I haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm going to give it to you. It's been out there. Sydney Sweeney or Megan the Stallion. MSS. Which one?
God. Okay. So Sydney Sweeney is definitely taking this one. I don't mind Meg the Stallion. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not kicking either one of them out of bed, for eating crackers. Okay. Yeah. But the smoky, Sydney Sweeney, Euphoria, Sydney Sweeney with the smoky eyes, the blonde, and she's kind of a hoe. Love it. Like that's just kind of it hits all of the MSS soft points. So she's definitely getting that. Meg the Stallion could probably kick my ass and would beat me up and chastise me, and I don't know if I could take that. So I'm gonna go with Sydney Sweeney.
All right, fair enough. Trezo, you want a piece of this or no?
I don't know if I can handle either. I don't know. I'm trying to.
That's trouble
because they're both just super hot. I'm just trying to think. Who has the better future earning power? And I'm almost going with Meg the Stallion here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I decided I would pick Megan the Stallion too. And the reason why is obviously they're both super hot. But what I realized was, remember we were doing that playback? It was for the Sox opener for the 2023 season when they first got Pedro Fall, and they're in Houston. And Megan the Stallion threw out the first pitch. And I didn't know it was going to be, she was on there, and she was just so super fucking hot, even just hanging out on the mound and getting ready to throw a first pitch. I was like, it's got to be. I was going to say, because she got that ass. They both got the chess game. But Sydney Sweeney's ass, low key, is pretty good. Too. I mean, I no shade there. So
I don't think there's a wrong choice,
dude.
That's why if we're going purely on looks, there's no wrong choice. That's why I'm looking monetarily after that. I'm
do better.
I'm trying to figure this out.
So our guy Matt Ramsey says she's 17 in that show. Good job, buddy.
WSS.
WSS.
20,
White Sox summer.
She White Sox summer. That's good. She's actually 27 years old though. So you can't be showing all that when you're underage in a show, dumb fuck. So take it easy.
I'm not saying, how you doing tonight? I want to get you off the horny. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I want to beat his ass. I'm doing good. I was gonna write a look banter, I had a banter about something that went down, but I'm gonna holster it. I'm gonna keep it for the next time. But tonight we had our t-ball practice tonight, and everybody on my team showed up. It was awesome, and I thank those parents because I know it's hard. And then I had my second coach come in tonight. Was there tonight and was great. And I was explaining to you, Loaf, that I have two kids that they're definitely English is not spoken in the house. They're Spanish speaking, but they speak English, so they understand me. But my second coach speaks Spanish, so he was like right with them, and I was like, yes, this is perfect because I don't speak Spanish, not good at all. So it was nice for them to. I heard some words I understood, but it was nice that Coach Carlos was like all over that shit. So.
What are the words you understood? Hang on. Let me give a quick run.
Like,
give me 3 words you understood.
One of them was alto, which I know is high. Like, because
Okay.
I think he was saying, like, go higher, like get your arm higher, get your shoulder higher or something. Like, so I knew that. And then there was rapido, which was faster, run faster. So there was some of those, you know, like something like that. Okay. So anyhow, we did batting, and Coach Carlos is very much we've got to do coach pitch with these kids fucking 24/7. And I was like, listen, bro, we got to take it easy. We got to ease them in. The first game was Monday. So everybody hit off a tee on Monday. Tonight, we did coach pitch. And I'm not saying that my daughter hit the ball the furthest, but she might have. But there's one other kid, and I swear to Christ, when he finally launches on a ball, this is my 3rd year doing this. I know where to throw the ball. After I see a kid swing like twice, like I know where to put the ball so the kid can hit it, and then make him feel good about himself.
The swing path.
Exactly.
Yep.
This one dude, his name's Oakley, and he slapped this ball, and I was like, oh man, when we get the 3rd or 4th time that me and you are throwing pitches, you're gonna smoke one out of the infield. I can feel it, and it's gonna be great because he was lining up on the tee. It's his 2nd year. He's just a big kid, but he smoked the ball, and I'm like, you got to do coach pitch, dude. You can't hit off a tee. Like, this isn't fair. Like, you're gonna have more fun doing this anyway. And then they got one other kid, Remy, and he smoked the ball also. But Slim Mick needs to take a look at him because he not only was hitting the ones across the plate, he was hitting the high ones, and he was up with the bat.
Oh, he was doing the
down.
Like,
I look at his folks and I was like, does he play 16-inch softball already or what? What is this? He's just
was he dumping him over the second base or like?
Oh, dude, I was just like, this kid's got it, and I'm like, Rem, don't swing at those. You know, wait till you get your good pitch. But I appreciated him hitting them back. So we had coach pitch tonight, and it went very well. So I was happy. Nobody got beaned, and nobody got hurt. So yeah, that's my little banter tonight. Oh, since Chirizi's here, do you want to do your banter?
I just want to complain for a minute, if I can.
Yeah.
So I just got back from this trip, and like, I think I've talked about this before, but I cannot stand fucking people trying to get off the airplane.
No,
like that is the worst of humanity. It is the downfall of society, all encapsulated into one, because every bad personality trait comes out in this. And like the one of the worst is the people that are not strong enough to put a heavy bag up top.
Oh yeah.
And it's to the detriment of everybody else, because without fail, let's say by the time I get on the plane, I'm on a Southwest flight, so it's pick your own seat, but I want a window seat. So I'm like 16, 17 rows back. There's enough people in front of me that without fail, every time when we're starting to deplane, someone tries to pull their fucking bag down, which they needed help to get up there in the first place. Now they're doing it by themselves, and it's way too heavy, and they swing it through and just like knock out 15 old ladies. And I'm just like, the fuck is wrong with you? And then this is new. This is like last, let's call it 2-3 years that I've seen this a lot more. Motherfuckers that like are coming from the back of the plane that just run right through everybody to get out. And this time I saw a guy fucking hip check the person, and I was like, I love it. Let's go straight hockey on this fucking thing.
Fight on the plane on the way out.
I was just like, and I'm just like thinking like that guy who did it, probably a regularly nice guy, but like just like this one moment was like, nah, fuck this, ain't happening. And I'm just like, and it's just like every bad trait of people comes out in that 10 minutes. And like, I'm sitting there getting kind of angry myself for no reason. Right. I got a checked bag. What am I in a hurry for? Right. Like, so,
right.
Like, I'm just like, I caught myself, but I'm like, yeah, this is like what if Twitter were real life is getting off a plane. That's the best explanation I have for it.
People in the comments want to know if you clapped.
No, because when the plane landed, no,
Yeah.
that's another fucking, especially the midway landing, because it's never a good landing.
Yeah, it's a hot one. You come in hot there, you know?
Yeah, it's basically like a Star Wars broken in half spaceship landing, and people are like, "Oh, wonderful job! What wonderful job! We almost ended up on 55th Street. We were seconds away from that."
Actually, sometimes I wish they would drop me off on 55th Street. It'd be quicker for me to get home.
You guys claps when the plane lands?
No, no, fuck that.
Oh, so I'm the only one then, huh? I'm the only one who's ever clapped.
The only one.
I'm the only one who's ever clapped. I'm probably one out of 6 flights I'll clap when the plane lands.
Why would I clap for somebody doing their job?
It's fun
right.
to clap, you know?
Come on.
Don't clap in there. You clap at the movie theater, right? No, or you don't clap at the movie theater.
No. Why the fuck? There's nobody there that made the movie.
I clap at a live show.
A live show,
there.
sure.
You enjoy me clapping.
Yeah.
And what if I just want to clap? I mean, it's fun for me to clap.
You can do
it. It's not fun to clap.
No, it's fun, but you can do it.
Sydney Sweeney can't hear you clap, motherfucker.
I want to hear Stallion clap. That's what I want to hear.
Cheer something, I'll tell you that. Let me get to this drink. And it's from Matt. I haven't seen Matt in a while. And he says, great episode of the Au Jus this week, Beef. Really gave me a lot of optimism. The new forward-thinking ownership group could really turn this franchise around. Yeah, maybe. We were talking about the stadium and potential stadium builds. And maybe, Rob Hart even brought up, maybe there's a possibility these boys stay at 35th Street. And maybe the HBS build there. Maybe rebuild the stadium or fix up the current one. So
just make it nice.
Yeah, it was interesting conversation.
Not that bad.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. Cheers, my friend.
No.
All right. I
Beef,
think
how's that Stroh's, Beef? I need to know.
You know what? I was saying before you got on here, this is the quintessential. There are 6 of these in the back of your dad's beer fridge that he'll never know you took one of them. And this is what you drink when you're like 14, but it's like old man beer. It is the manest old man beer that there ever was. It's absolutely so.
Does
Good
it
thing
taste
you only
like
got 30 of those to get through?
The whole 30 rack. And he's like, MSF's like, oh, you're probably gonna put those for us in the soak. I'm like, oh, those are for me, motherfucker. I'm gonna enjoy these 30 rack. I'll give you something else to drink. Okay.
Tastes like Old Spice, ashtray, and domestic violence. Yep.
John Carney says Rob was an awesome guest, Beef. And then K-Dog says could see Beef clapping like Eddie and Nutty Professor.
Everyone start doing the waterfall because he's brought up the Au Jus 7 times. So
maybe.
Says, I might as well have a few drinks.
Well, it's in the drink. What do you want me to do?
I'm just saying. We've heard enough about your podcast.
All right. How about you sell some shrimp?
I will try.
That is done. The fasting's through. But Lawrence is fun. That's always in view. You prayed. You waited. You gave up the meat. Now treat your soul to that crispy heat. Down on Canal, the fryer don't sleep. 24/7, them flavors run deep. Midnight, sunrise, rain or shine, they're dropping shrimp in that holy brine. But let's talk shrimp, the best in the shy. No one does it better, and that's not a lie. Crispy, juicy, seasoned just right. A bag of joy in the pale street light. So whether you're holy, hungry, or both, Lawrence's swears a deep-fried oath. Come hungry, come often, bring the whole block. Cause let Lawrence's baby, yeah, we don't stop.
Was it as good the second time around?
It was
better.
It was just yeah. I'm starting to learn the words so I could sing along.
That's good. Good.
You don't come back in the cut though, so you got to listen hard to make sure you get the words.
Back in the cut. I mean, I can send you the not through the phone audio one, and then you can hear it really popping. Then you get there. So, all right. So we don't really like. This was the plan. It was just supposed to be me and you, Loaf, and there's some things we want to talk about. But Treasy, I want to hear your opinion on some of this stuff too. I just have like a potpourri of stuff now.
I love it.
We've talked about doing a musical, like music in the background while we're doing this. I could not find a song that I was happy with. So I was like, I don't want to put like a techno beat in here until I it just something needs to speak to me. Yeah. So I just didn't get one today.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing really stuck out. So I'm not going to try that tonight. We'll save it for another time. But like, yeah, I called it MSS's musings. These are just things that I've been thinking about, and I thought I'd bring them out. So some of the things have been popular. Some other people have talked about them, but I want to get your guys' thoughts too. So we're going to start off with the first thing. This week, the Chicago White Sox on, I think it was Monday, held a press conference at their team store to announce the release of the new City Connect jersey, which looks like the Chicago Bulls jersey. They have, taken two teams in Chicago that are, I would say, somewhat struggling and created a jersey based upon them. Boys, I would like to know your initial thoughts, Chirizi.
So the jersey itself, I'm neither here nor there on. I don't think it looks all that great. It's just kind of it looks a lot like a Bulls jersey, but like the concept behind it, I really don't get.
Okay.
Right? Like, I mean,
what's
like,
confusing?
Why at this point in both of these franchises are you thinking to yourself, this is a real Avengers style team up where we want you to remember that these are both owned by the same guy? Like that, I feel like they're not reading the audience very well on this one. Like anything else could have been better. And I think that it's a miss to me. It's a miss. I think it's overall, these teams are both bad right now. Everybody's kind of down on both of them in the city. And it's kind of a mediocre look. I think that the South Sides are way better than this.
Beef Loaf, your thoughts?
I mean, I could not disagree fucking more with Treasy. He's thinking so far into it. And put the jersey back up there. Yeah. It's just a nice looking like jersey. I'm not a big pinstripe person, and I would have preferred like you put the Jordan rookie year road jersey there. I would have preferred the cursive Chicago. Like
I did that.
I really like this look, and I couldn't tell at first when I saw it being modeled because Luis Robert Jr. is modeling it. I thought, wow, Luis Robert Jr. is really handsome, and so everything fucking looks good on this guy. But the more I've been looking at him, the more I'm like, they're pretty sharp. I like them, and I like them as just an occasional jersey, which they're going to be like the Southside ones, the previous City Connects. And so I think it's kind of a cool look. I'm not a huge jersey guy. I'm not saying I would go out and buy this, but I don't really go out and buy jerseys. You don't have a jersey per se. Yeah. But if there was a jersey of this, I would definitely get it. I mean, like I like that look, and you know what it is too. Maybe people just don't like wearing red a lot, but I do, and so I'm all in for this. So I thought it looked cool, and my initial visceral reaction was it looks nice. Now I can't disagree with any of Terezi's logic, but if I'm putting some clothes on, I don't really think about all that stuff. Like I'm a fan of the teams. Yeah, they stink right now, but at points in my life, they were really important and really good to me. Yeah. So it's good looking jersey. Cool.
This is how they represented it, though. It's not like I'm digging into this. This is the story that they told.
Right. They're doing a mashup. I know.
Yeah. So like two storied franchises. Yeah, that are fucking terrible right now.
Right. The Bulls got 6 championships.
They're trying to look backwards on both of these things, where people are tired of them looking backwards because they won't do anything forward moving.
Well, I'm not people then. I like the jersey. That's fine with me. I like the Bulls 6 championships.
Also, the jersey sucks. The jersey sucks. Like the red pinstripes with the black sleeves, and then we're doing black pants and the weird hats. None of it matches together. It looks fucked up.
All right, you shush. Now look at. So here's the what you were just talking about, Chirizi. And I didn't notice this before, but they have Chicago on the sleeve inside the sock. Okay, and that's
black hat too
to me. All right, I don't like that. But you're talking about the past, and you look in the collar within there, and you can see all the years, the championship years for all these teams. And when it says 06, it doesn't mean 2006. That's 1906 and 1917, which I think that's okay. But the one big gaffe for me, and I want to ask you guys about this, is the South Side strip that goes on the bottom of the sleeves and then will go up the sides of the pants. Listen, you did all this work making this good looking jersey, and then you just write South Side a bunch of times and put it on a strip of like ribbon. Like, does that bum you out, Loaf? Do you think that was like just not thought of correctly, or what?
Yeah, that's pretty weak. I agree with that. That is pretty weak. It could be better if it was camouflaged in there where it wasn't immediately noticeable. That could be fun, right? But it's too obvious, right? It's just like this is where are we gonna put? I will just throw this here, like
it hurts a movie bit. Where the kid's like an intern or something. He's got on like a striped shirt, like a pinstripe shirt, and then a horizontal striped tie, and the guy who's like his mentor or whatever is like, you think this looks good? You look like a fucking optical illusion. That's what I see when I look at this whole ensemble together.
They're gonna look so good out there in the field with this thing on. I can't.
You know who's not gonna look good? Andrew Vaughn, because this does not look good on white people. I've already said it. It just doesn't.
This is the bias against it. That's the bias.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
White folks can't wear red. No?
Jonathan Cannon needs to get a tan before he puts this on.
The only reason you don't like this because the guy that tried to run off the plane had that jersey on. That's all. He's still sore about that. The guy was running. He had the jersey. I had the Benintendi on. He's like, it wasn't a guy. This guy.
No. So we got this.
Oh, it's a woman.
There's a huge win though in this whole thing because boys, this hat fucking slaps. This is the sweetest hat. I think this is better than the CHI hat. This is better. This is the best City Connect hat. It's a batting practice hat. I think that's tits. Your thoughts, Chorizo?
I don't like this either.
You don't like it?
Yeah,
You're just ornery. You're an ornery motherfucker.
I'm weak. Like I feel like the sock logo itself, is weak.
That
in general,
you don't like it, huh?
Just in general, it's a fuck. I'm not a foot guy. So I'm not into this as much as you are.
Allegedly.
I'm not a foot guy either, but
I always think that the sock drawings look just like really poorly hand drawn, and just like I don't know. To me, it just looks amateurish when they do anything with the sock, and this is in that realm.
Okay. Well, do you like this hat or
put that back up? Correct. Rex Ryan just turned off the pot. You know what? MSS, I don't care for this hat that much. I like the other hat. Wasn't there another hat that was a red one and then had the that one I liked better than this one. This one's fine. I don't really, but it's like I wouldn't go out and seek that one. The other one, the red one, I like that. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. People were getting horny about that hat. I like the jersey better than the hat, but the hat was decent too. So that's
all right.
But that hat, okay,
that's topic number one. That's over. That's finished.
Let me get to a couple drinks before we move on.
Sure. Yeah.
Sammy Davis says he says mental health awareness jokes are hysterical. Let me tell you something, Sammy. I saw some of those things. And I told the boys in the comments, I was so close to like having a snarky reply. And I'm like, I'm going to get absolutely murdered on Twitter. I've been having enough trouble on Twitter. People yelling at me, asking if my sources are real or not. Should I get sued? So I refrained from this, but I thought the same thing when all that was going on.
At least MSS, at least he didn't ask us, should I tweet this? And we go, nah, no one's going to get that. And then he tweets it anyway. At least this time he didn't even bother doing that.
Yeah, I don't think it would be as funny. And then Jay Zell says they're just Bulls jerseys.
Pretty much.
Maybe that's why I like them. Yeah,
I'm kind of with you there, Jay Zell. Jay Zell, I'm with you if the Bulls for some reason decided sleeves this year too.
The Bulls in sleeves. Let's go.
I can't wait to get a Jordan 45 version of this jersey. It'll be nice and tight. I'm gonna wear that. Actually,
you need the Jordan. You need
that would be cool.
Balls across the chest.
No,
like Will Jordan, balls, exactly.
It's just say Chicano and then ball and then Jordan on the back. I think that would be a good one. All right, Loaf, you're up next.
I am Sam. Take it easy, all right.
Beef, you're up first in this one. The next thing is we've had some things go down this week. So I think it started on Monday. With 670 to score. We had Leo Rahimi get hired, Shane get let go, and then just what the fuck is happening at 670 to score? Like, I have my thoughts, but I want to hear yours, Loaf, other than what you spewed out on the internet, which maybe you should tell people about.
Well, I did put a tweet out there on the internet. I said, Lawrence Holmes got Shane Reardon fired from 670. Josh Nelson got the 108ers fired from Ramova. How are the nerds winning? Basically, and I got so many DMs from people that were friends with. Beef, is this shit real? I was like, it's speculation. It might be real. I don't know for a fact that it is fucking real. But I was just kind of guessing there. Let me start with the Shane thing first. Sure. I said summer to me puzzling in a lot of ways because I know that Shane can be hyperbolic. I know he's gotten in trouble a few times or with saying things on the air. However, it's very fucking obvious that he's really good executive producer of a show. Like,
He
it's
is.
blatantly obvious to anyone who follows any of this shit that, like, he gets top-notch fucking guests. And just from talking to him on the Au Jus, Tanny on the Au Jus, and then when we had Danny Parkins on the Festivus show a couple years ago, there was a real collaboration with them guys for that show. And Shane was a huge part of the ideas and everything that they were doing there. And so, like, very talented guy. And in the radio world, I know they like to whack out but the producers they're not getting the big money. Like, when you see a Dan Bernstein get let go, you're like, well, yeah, they're chopping a lot of payroll there. That's like a guy who's making a fortune and they want to, but a producer doesn't generally make a ton of money. And so the whole thing puzzled me all the way around. I don't know about you guys. Like, what you thought when, like, I saw he was out, I was like, wow, that's a shock.
I'm kind of along the same lines as you, but it does reek of cheapness.
Yes.
Right. It does reek of, like, Shane is expensive for what he is, like, in their eyes. And then you go, okay, there's tons of people that want this job. So yeah, tons of people want this job, but does anyone give a shit about the job as much as he does? Like, I mean,
right.
like,
yeah,
he's like, think about how long he's been there. Think about how much heart and soul he is, like, into that job.
Yes.
The effort he puts in. Like, we give him shit about stuff, right? Because he's one of the he's out there.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's you break balls on guys, but, like, we know that he's doing a fucking incredible job over there.
Of course.
It's like, you're just gonna kind of you think you're gonna replace that easily, right? Because you can get a cheaper thing. It never works that way. It never works that way in any fucking industry. Beef, you and I have gone through these things in the past where, like, we're gonna lay off people, we're gonna get in, like, junior people in all these positions. You're like, you know what? They're gonna suck at this.
It's gonna take a long time.
Nowhere near. But they don't have the relationships. They don't have the like the tribal knowledge of these things. Like, there's just such a loss when you do shit like this, which I think it's gonna be damaging to them. I think this is gonna be more damaging to them than the Bernstein thing, because I think a lot of people were done with Bernstein. This just feels like the bigger domino falling to me.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and I know I feel like it's a money thing, just the way they came out and said it in their, like, management and Shane decided to part ways, and it's like that's usually that, because he's not getting in trouble. If he's gonna get in trouble for something, and he's gonna get fired for something, he was gonna get fired for saying he's gonna fuck some guy's dead mom, right? Like, that's
I liked that, though.
It was fine, right? There's no reason to say that.
I was only mad he apologized.
Something was so outrageous. Like, well, why do you gotta apologize for that? It's obviously fucking bullshit, right? Who cares?
I think the only reason that I
miss old radio
is that some of these crazy ass, like, lunatic political people are, like, gonna try to kill you, and so, like, I'm just gonna try to maybe not get sniped. I feel like that's why he did it, but whatever. I also, we've all been friends with Shane. I have Shane's number. I actually texted Shane after this went down and said, this is whack, but I think you're going to be fine, because you are very talented for all the same reasons you guys have. Like, Shane's soft skills, like, are really good. Like, he understands how to communicate with people. He knows how to talk to people. And I feel like Shane, right now, it's the best time for this to happen to Shane, because I think he's been the best mental space that since I've known him. And so, like, he can handle this and it's not going to be a problem, so it's fine. And I'm not going to get too conspiracy theory like my guy Loaf, but I mean, if you're getting rid of somebody because you don't want that vote, or you don't want that voice coming out of the box, the producer area, that's kind of whack. Like, you kind of need that
before.
I know, and it's just like I'm and I'm going to be 100% honest. I've said this to several other people too. Trying to find a pulse for 670 right now is hard. I listen because certain times, because that's what I'm doing. But listen, I don't want to hear Bears talk 24/7, and that's what the show is. I mean, we're just listening about who the Bears are going to draft, who the Bears drafted, what are the Bears drafting going to do, what's Ben Johnson going to do. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Okay, they're like, there's other teams that are playing right now in the city of Chicago. Well, fucking give me 5 minutes. I'm very happy with Layla. I'm sure you guys are too. Layla getting put back into a drive time spot. Well, maybe you're not. I'm happy with her getting there. I think she's earned it. I think she actually does have a pulse, and I think she does keep conversations flowing. Loaf, or not Loaf,
before he gets into this, I just want to throw something out there.
Yeah,
that since you have Shane's number, if he wants to get in on a Webbio style Ponzi scheme, have him text me.
Actually, text him right now just to let him know.
I will let him know.
So I do have some thoughts here. So Mitch Rosen a couple times now has had a chance to really shake up the 6-7 to score lineup because Danny Parkins left 7 or 8 months ago, and that left a void in the afternoon show, and there was an opportunity to make some new choices. Then obviously Dan Bernstein ends up getting fired, and there's opportunity to make new choices. And in both instances, he didn't make any new choices. He just shuffled around all the chairs that were kind of already hanging around there. Now, it's not Layla's problem specific to her, but it's a broader problem that I kind of see here. A couple things. One, that show, the midday show, basically has 2 TV people who are both out of towners. They are not Chicagoans, not from here. And then I'm sure Layla's lived here 10 years, 12 years, whatever. But there's a different feel for you're going to have the hometown people talking about the hometown teams, and people like homers. They want people that have the history and have been invested in all this stuff. Teresa was just talking about like having the knowledge, the institutional knowledge, and these are not people that have them. They weren't here part of all this stuff and growing up in this stuff, and so it's kind of a different feel. Also, with being TV people, they're not used to doing long form. And I know Layla's been on the radio and Marshall's been there for a little bit, but not that long. It's way different to do 4 hours as opposed to doing 5 minutes on your TV spot. It's a very, very different art. And it was shocking to me in a way with all the people that have gone off that like they didn't look elsewhere and try to do what they did with Danny Parkins. And to me, I would think it would be even easier now to do what they did with Danny Parkins, because when they got Parkins in, I was 8 years ago, something like that, the preponderance of podcasts wasn't as large as it is now. Now, so many people have so many flight miles doing podcasts, and it could be someone that has radio experience or whatever too, that the fact that they didn't pick anyone like that, who is like popular podcast person, some personality that does do this long form talking all the time, and said, we'll just grab 2 people that you recognize from TV and say that's the show. To me, I was like a little underwhelmed there. I'm interested to see if Layla could actually drive a 4-hour show. I'll be impressed if she can, because that doesn't seem to have been her skill set from going from television. So it's not really about her, but it's more about like the choices in like not getting new talent and not getting people that are versed in fucking doing this thing that's not their skill set,
Whose fault is that, Loaf? Do you think that because I refuse to believe that people don't want to get into this type of thing. I think people do want to get into it, but I also think that people are like, well, if I can't joke about the things I want to joke about, I'll just put out a podcast, or I'll go to another alternative media. I'll go to The Athletic. I'll go to Barstool. I'll do something like that. That's the goal. I'm kind of both eyes pointed right at 670 for not fostering any type of growth to get people to come in, because you shouldn't be in this situation where, like you just said, rearranging the chairs on the deck.
Titanic,
because you're hearing the same shit, same people. Like, you needed somebody new. You need a new voice. You need that Parkins,
One of the things
easy.
I brought up to Beef, and I think you as well, MSS, when we were just talking about this, like, hanging out, is that I felt like when the Parkins thing happened, and then the Bernstein, but back when the Parkins thing happened, I was like, this is an opportunity to change the format, to not do, there's like 3-4-hour shows and 1 5-hour show, really, and instead do a whole bunch of 2-hour shows and get some new blood in, get some new people in that like have different ideas, and that the shows can all be different, and they could talk about similar things, all from different takes and everything. So when you talk about like, oh, they're just going to talk about the Bears, well, the Bears are fucking popular, right? But have a whole bunch of different voices talking about different things. Have someone going, you know what? If you're worried about the running backs but you're not worried about the quarterback, and you're giving the line to one and not the line to the other. Like, have those kind of voices in there, getting all this shit out there, learning who the best are, and eventually you're going to come up with one or two diamonds in the rough out of that. Right. And maybe then you extend one of those into a 4-hour show, or maybe everybody just stays 2-hour shows and you just keep cycling, because you're not like, it's obvious that the money's not there to be like, we're going to bring in these big radio stars. That's shit's over. So move to a new format. Move to a new format where it's quicker. It's less, it's part-time jobs for these people. They could do other things too. They could have a podcast on the side. They could do all this other shit. But those 2 hours a day, they're filling. And the Score's got the Cubs too. Like, right? Like, so like half of these days, like, that gets cut right in the middle. So like, I don't get why they wouldn't move to a different format.
Does anybody listen to a show because it's a former athlete on that show talking? And I would say not really. Are you looking at CHGO, how much money they spent on Bulls players to come in and talk? Dude, I don't see like these huge numbers coming out because you got Will Perdue there to fucking tell you something. It's like, I don't know. I don't get it, but like, maybe some people like it, but the numbers don't seem to show that from what I can say.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious about the lack of like imagination or searching there. So no shade against the people that are still on the air. I'm surprised they didn't try it.
I just think
it's just tough. It's just tough to like continue to go like, give me 20 hours a week,
right?
Of pure talk, right?
It's tough,
and also not.
And you can't rely on callers anymore.
No,
because there's like six people that use the phone anymore.
Well, I was going to say there's part that Treasy, but the part they stopped taking them. Like, so when you stop training them to call in, they're not going to call in anymore. So that's part of it. Like, there was at some point a transition off of that stuff, and so you can't do that anymore. There's no you can't get the added benefit of that entertainment.
Tadito says the 2-hour shows get you Peggy Kaczynski and Julie DeCaro pass. It's not all going to be great if you're doing like 2-hour shows, and that's why I'm saying you got to cycle through to find those people. But right now you're going, I'm committing all of it to like 3 shows. They better be fucking awesome, because you got to listen to these for 12 hours a day.
And he's wrong though, because he's right about that show, but also 2-hour show gave you Mully and Hanley back in the day, and that was a really good show. That thing got going and it became a monster in the mornings, when it was going good. So you do hit some good ones there. Baloney says, yes, MSS, give me more Braggs and less Briggs type of talking heads.
Right.
Yeah. So someone fresh, someone interesting like Greg Braggs. Exactly.
I agree. And I like Braggs. Braggs is awesome. All right. Another fun thing happened this week. Our friend, Praz, put out this tweet, and he said, a regular fat guy mistake that happens. You're walking around and a door is open and you rip your clothes because you're just too big. I've had it happen several times. Now, Praz walks in, rips his sweatshirt, and immediately tweets at the Cubs and at, known notorious good guy, obvious shirts, and says, hey, my Sammy hoodie just got ripped because the door of an electrical box between section 504 and 505 was left open. Anything we can do to fix this for a loyal fan that attends 20 plus games per season, please. And almost immediately, Obvious Shirt sends a tweet. We got you, Mike. We'll ship the one out first thing tomorrow morning. And then, if that wasn't enough, another tweet from Mike says, a huge thank you to the Cubs fan services staff, especially David, Samantha, and Jessica, for going out of their way to compensate me for a new hoodie, compensate me for my hoodie being ripped last night with a new one from the team store behind home plate. Now, does your boy know how much sweatshirts cost? Absolutely. Our guy Praz just got $150 in sweatshirts. And now this begs the question, folks. And I got a graphic. Is Praz the world's biggest grifter in White Sox Twitter? I mean, honestly, he has definitely surpassed me in the grifting.
Is it me? Maybe it's just the angle of the picture. But was he rolling on the ground to get Like,
it looks slow.
That seems like it's like a foot off the ground.
Yeah, I don't know where it was ripped actually.
What size hoodie is this? He's wearing the shit down to his ankle. Is this a dress?
Yeah, I'm not sure where Praz is right now. But the funny thing with this, and I'll get your thoughts in a minute, but when we started, like, Loaf, when I saw this, and I was like, oh, he's definitely a bigger grifter now. We have to get this out there. And so I was like, I tagged you in. I'm like, is he finally a bigger grifter than me? And you're like, yes. And he's like, what? I didn't ask for anything. Sir, your first tweet was to two people and said, is there anything we can do to fix this? And was Praz going to be satisfied if they came back and said, sure, we'll make sure we shut the door next time so no one gets,
that would have been a hilarious tweet if they showed it close and they said, we fixed the election.
We fixed it. But no, they're like, here, have an $85 sweatshirt.
Here's a sewing kit. Good luck.
Your thoughts, Teresa? We know Loaf thinks he's definitely a bigger grifter. What do you think, Teresa? He's the biggest grifter in White Sox Twitter, or what?
I surely don't think he's the biggest grifter out there. You know, people have set up GoFundMe's for toes and other things. Like, sorry,
you want me to send it to him?
Send it to him?
He's got his own podcast.
He does have his own podcast.
Yeah, up on there. Go ahead.
But no, I don't think he's the biggest grifter. I just think that either the picture is at a terrible angle or he's full of shit. One of the two. One of the two.
Beer Garden Jim does have a good point. Bleacher Jeff is a way bigger.
Yeah. That's why I'm not.
It's true. That is true. But for not mostly non-important shit. I mean, yeah, definitely he takes the cake. That's for sure. But yeah, no, I just thought that was funny, and I thought that was fun to do.
I don't know. At least Bleacher Jeff, we know that he used the money for that trip. I have no idea where the ToeFundMe money went. I have no idea.
I'll tell you where it went. Directly into McDonald's coffees, because he would post them right after he got all that money. It's like, oh, just having my second fucking McDonald's latte of the day. It's like, well, you fucking dickhead.
McDonald's latte.
It's so angry.
$2 helps with the toe recovery, though. As you guys didn't know.
Doesn't matter, Treasy. You're supposed to be using that money to fix your toe, you dumb fuck. All right, next up. We have the NFL draft that was covered extensively on the Score last week, because that's all that they can talk about is sports, is football.
Sports. Well, this is a sports radio show. So.
I know. Shut the fuck up. I fucking had a little miscue. A guy, Shedeur. Is it Shedeur?
Shedeur, yeah.
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders was predicted to be as high as the second overall pick, and he fell to the 144th pick in the 5th round. Loaf, does this give our guy all the gas to start the best goddamn revenge tour in NFL history? Your thoughts?
I think it does, but it's one of these things too where he's going to have to end up in a better situation than he's currently going to right now. Cleveland is a tire fire, and so where he landed was a tough spot to start the revenge tour from. But when it was all going down, it was so odd. I can't remember another situation like this where there wasn't a player that had a crime attached to them. That's right. Why they fell way down the board. And this was a really strange thing. And there was a lot of speculation about what, and there were people saying, "Oh man, these teams are racist. They're blackballing him." There were people, and then afterwards it came out and said, "Well, he didn't interview well," and some of this stuff. But to me, looking at it, I always felt like because of the power dynamic that he has with his dad, where they have a megaphone, they could put out any fucking thing possible. And these NFL coaches, football coaches in general, don't like to be questioned. It's their way or the highway, and they could be put on blast at any point with a kid like this if he feels he's being mistreated, and he's got the PR to be able to go out and do it. So I felt like there's a level of you're good, but you're not that good. We're willing to forego all this stuff, and we know that in your back pocket, your old man's got a ton of clout and could cause me some trouble, get me fired if things don't go right, if you're the head coach or whatever. And so I thought that was kind of the reason why he fell down the board. But yeah, I mean, I watched him play in college. He was a good college quarterback. I was surprised when I saw some of the bums that went out of him. That guy's going right now, So yeah, I mean, He should have the ammo. We'll see if he gets the real opportunity to do so.
Treasy.
I think we're missing the forest for the trees here, boys. All right. I was watching the draft. I was on the plane. So they had a captive audience. I was going to watch the draft. There's fucking nothing else for me to do while I'm on the plane. The Mel Kiper's got 2 guys, 1 and 2 going in the 4th round. Neither one of those motherfuckers got picked in the whole 4th round. The real question here, has Mel Kiper lost his fastball? Is his fake hair soaking into his brain? And he can't do this anymore? Is it over?
It's not, Treasy. You know why? He's always been a fucking lightning rod. I still remember that clip when the Colts GM is laying into him and they're fucking yelling at each other on stage. Like, Mel Kiper's never been a GM and all this shit. He's on there for entertainment. I think he fulfills that. Like, so many people were talking about him, about, oh, he's crying about all this stuff or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's why he's on here, right? He's their, draft price. None of these guys know shit anyway. What's the difference? Put a guy on there who's going to be entertaining, who's going to fire up the audience, and that's what he does,
He's the Jim Cramer of...
Yeah, basically, yes. Yes, he is the Jim Cramer of the draft. Absolutely,
I love it.
Oh, man. All right. So, also this week in sports media, there was a show, I think it was Sunday morning, and you had Bill Belichick on there, former coach of the New England Patriots, and he was wearing an old ass Navy hoodie, like a rip on it, and just looked like, I'm like, that thing stinks. Like, that has to smell bad. But he's like, this is grit. I got to show grit. And I'm sure everyone's heard all the stories. I actually watched the interview today, Treasy, and it was very quick. It's like 10 minutes. And it's basically Bill Belichick talking about his new book that he just released, and he put it out there. And the interviewer asked him a few questions. And one of them was, you mentioned your new 24-year-old girlfriend in your book, calling her your muse. But you failed to mention the owner of the Patriots that you won 6 rings for in the book. And he goes, yeah. And he's like, why? And the guy's like, well, my career's not really over. It's about me teaching football. It's not about the people that gave me the chance to teach football, basically. and boys, I'm looking at this and watching it, and I'm like, I'm thinking of like great coaches, like Phil Jackson stands out, right? And him going to LA, I was very worried that he was going to tarnish his reputation. Like, he's going to go out there and he's going to lose and whatever. Is Bill Belichick tarnishing his reputation for young pussy? Your thoughts, Beef Loaf? Oh, by the way, I forgot to
I'll say no. Because...
This is the picture. I forgot to put this up.
Man, what a fisherman.
I mean, honestly, in the interview, it sounded like he had no idea that was on the internet.
He definitely, like, the thing is he fucking...
I played dumb if I was him too and all this shit. I don't know what's going on. Sorry.
I'm confused.
Oh, you know what? I'll say I don't think so because, a lot of people, turn weird when they get old and it just right. Like, in the moment you're like, yeah, this is fucked up and this person, whatever. But then after they're gone, you only think about all the stuff they accomplished. Yeah. And it always becomes a footnote. The weird stuff usually just becomes a footnote to all the stuff. So
I think you're right.
In the moment, it's going to be hard to remember.
No one remembers OJ with the 49ers. They remember him for other stuff.
Now, come on, you're being ridiculous right there. The trial of the century versus this.
I mean, way to slam the gavel. I mean,
look at old guys. They pay for pussy. All right. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I saw this or whatever, and I saw a lot of people. Oh man, this young chick's taking advantage of him. Let me tell you something. There's some beautiful looking 40-something, 50-something, 60-something women that would also take advantage of Bill Belichick. Okay. There's a lot of women who would take advantage of his shit. And look, he's paying for a good time right now. It is what it is. Is he giving away some of his net worth? Yeah. Too bad. Okay. This is the choice he's fucking making here. So yeah, no problems with this whatsoever. And I don't think he's tarnishing his later on you'll laugh about it. He's like, man, what a great coach and all the Brady stuff. And then remember that weird thing with the girlfriend at the end? That was hilarious or whatever. And that's all.
I'm making a joke with the OJ thing, but think about Jordan, right? Jordan with the Wizards is just like a side thing. It's just like, oh, whatever. Like that sucked that's how that ended. But like, you don't like forget how great Jordan was. People still talk shit about LeBron because of Jordan, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
So like, it's going to be the same thing here. Like Bill Belichick's going to die fucking pretty soon. And like, we're going to be like, what a great coach he was, right? That's just kind of, but I think this kind of speaks to a larger thing of like, when guys are very rich and old, I think we should stop shaming them for their young hooker wives, like our girlfriends. Like just let them go have fun, man.
Agreed.
He's worked like 100 hours a day for fucking many years, and now he's like, you know what? I'm gonna coach UNC this year. I still want to be involved in football, but you know what? I also want to fuck too. And people are like, oh my god, oh dear.
And you know
How
what,
dare he?
Tracy? You know what? Let me tell you something too. The girl, she's being duly compensated for this.
Right.
Okay, she's getting hurt. So to me, two adults, is it kind of disgusting? Would I not want to watch it? Of course, I don't want to watch his old balls out there. But good for that, man. Do what you got to do, friend.
Yeah, that's the funny thing too.
She's putting in work too.
They're like, oh, she's gotten $9 million out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And everybody who's like, that's disgusting, are the same motherfuckers where they're like, would you fuck a rhinoceros for $9 million? And there's like, oh yeah, of course. I mean, $9 million.
Once? Only one time? Sure. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. Why
I don't know
not?
if you guys saw this tweet. I wanted to pull this in here real quick because it's directly related to it. And it's just a random guy on Twitter. Daniel Killeen says he is confident that this Jordan Hudson is a high-end escort. And why? He says, and here's a list of things why. He says, Bill's 74 years old, rich white man, the main clientele for sex workers. He says, during the interview, Jordan interrupts the reporter asking, where did your meet with demands? Then I answered that question. Robert Kraft got into trouble for paying off a massage service for sex work. Robert and Bill were close friends. What do close rich guy friends do together? You guessed it. He goes, Bill and Robert will not engage each other anymore since Jordan Hudson relationship starts. I assume the boys used to go to town together on these things and something went wrong. He goes, way too many sex worker personalities follow her on social media, either because she's an icon to them or they know her. I did not know that part.
I was going to say, how does he know this?
Bill calls her my creative muse. Common language sex workers tell their loved ones to call their partners. And the last one, posting photos like this. It was the photo of the lobster made out of the strawberries, where the other person's not aware of photos being taken, plus fancy meals, the sex worker photography 101. Go look around X. So the guy's building a conspiracy theory that the chick is just a straight up sex worker and is just like, this is a hooker. Yeah.
Here's the only problem I have with that. The strawberry lobster, that's not a fancy meal. All right. That's a meal for a child.
Which she is. She's 24. All right, last one. You guys, I'm on Facebook still, and every once in a while I have the reels come through, and they'll have all these weird videos of people like over-engineering things, right? Like, oh, I want to put some lights on my deck, so I'm going to use 800 tools to make this little thing that I could go buy at the dollar store for $1 or maybe $1.25 now. But I was watching one and I couldn't find it again, and because I wanted to. But it was like easy pickle storage for your lunch. And the person rips out a Magnum, opens the Magnum, puts the condom onto the pickle, and then puts it into a lunchbox. And at this point, I'm like, this is a fucking joke, right? Like, this is not serious. Boys, would you eat a pickle in your lunchbox that has been wrapped encased in a Magnum condom? This is a joke, right? Has to be a joke.
It's got to be, I assume.
Okay.
Well, I mean, of course not, because there's shit on condoms. There's like lube on condoms. And no one in the history of condom wearers has ever put it on the right way the first time. It's like it's like the USB thing. You know, the USB where you go once, you turn it, and then you turn it again, and then it's in the right way. Like it is exactly that. So like there's lube on that pickle. I don't want to eat it.
Wasn't it like it's like a 50-50 shot that you could get the the USB thing right, but I'm wrong 75% of the time. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You put it in first,
eating
it
it.
doesn't fit. You turn it around, it doesn't fit, and then you turn it again, and then it does. That's
Yeah.
how USBs and condoms work.
Yeah. So, boys, that's what I had for you tonight. I just wanted to get some of these things out, these little musings, and we're gonna play some bills.
Good shit.
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Tired of driving something that feels like it's stuck in winter? Shift into spring with a brand new Mazda from Mazda of Orland Park. Sleek design, sky active performance, tech that gets you and your playlist, an MPG that will make your wallet wanna dance. From the sporty Mazda 3 to the adventure-ready CX-5, we got the perfect ride for your spring road trip, daily commute, or spontaneous ice cream run, because you can now. Special spring gigs are rolling in now. Trade in, trade up, drive out grinning. Located just off 159th Street in Orland Park. Stop by today or shop anytime online at MazdaofOrlandPark.com. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. Drive something that actually gets you.
Absolutely beautiful, my Sox number. Let's jump into some White Sox talk. And Treasy might be drunk. I don't. You don't seem that drunk, Treasy.
Not a might be today. Not a might be.
Oh,
Most definitely
wow.
is. But you're
doing good.
You're holding up well. I got a few.
I appreciate it.
I want a chicken dinner.
That too. That
job.
has also happened. And free Joe Duh, obviously. A couple questions for you guys about some things going on with the White Sox. Before we get to the questions, man, a real nice win for the White Sox today, 8-0. They beat the shit out of the Brewers. Miguel Vargas hit a home run, so he's still on his hitting streak. Sean Burke was nice, 6 innings, no runs scored. And Luis Robert, man, he had 4 RBIs and he had a grand slam saving catch. So one of the things watching some of today's game, I didn't see the whole thing, but as frustrating as Luis is when he has a game like he had today, that's the type. Oh my God, I love that Luis Robert, and we just don't get that shit enough. So encouraging going into the weekend.
I want to fall in love with Vargas, but I can't yet. I got to hold off.
Too skinny.
I got to hold off.
Let's give him some time.
But I like what I'm seeing so far. I like what I'm seeing.
Love it.
All right, let's get to a few questions here. First things first, we found out this information a few days ago, but Colson Montgomery is being sent to the desert to work with Ryan Fuller and his hitting mechanics for a week or two. Oh my God, oh noes. What does this mean, Treasy? What does this mean?
So this feels like a tactic to me, right? This is a, there's something seriously wrong, but we're gonna fix it. And we got Ryan Fuller. He's the guy. He's the witch doctor that's gonna make this all better, right? So what their hope is that they pull him out of there for 2 weeks. They probably will work on his swing. They'll work on actual things with him, try and get him going. Send him back to Charlotte. If he has any glimmer of goodness, they're going to be like, it's fixed. Don't worry about the other stuff. Don't worry about all the rest of the season you've seen him. It's just this part. Now he's fixed. So that's just this part to pay attention to. He's good. Get him up there. That's
you feel it,
that's
huh?
the point. It could backfire, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's their best. Like, they couldn't spin him getting on base like 9 games in a row to even look good, because his OPS was still like, what, 12? I don't know. It's like,
it was terrible.
It's terrible. It's still in the 500s, I think. And so they're doing this and going like, this is how we separate this season and go ignore everything before. Only look at this stuff. And they get a new starting point with him, see if they could get him going, and then ascend him to the pros, because they still don't have a damn shortstop. And right. We'll talk about other options in a little bit, but like, they still don't have a shortstop. And so the position is still just waiting for him. All he has to do is show some kind of goodness, and they're going to put him up there. And that's what, to me, that's what this is.
My Sox summer. Were you alarmed, intrigued, excited?
I have a little bit of a different view on this, though. Here's what I think happened. I think they're like they're in like the weird worry zone right now, and they're like, this guy is supposed to be good. We're kind of fucked now because he's not good. He should be up by now. We needed him up and can't do it. Ryan Fuller opens his mouth and says, you know what? If I had him for a couple weeks, in Arizona, I could fix him. Not knowing that the Sox would just be like, bet. And like, all right, take him out there. We'll see what happens.
See you later.
We got him now. Take him. We don't need him here. We got plenty of guys to do it, right? And so now Fuller's like, fuck, this is his first project, right? And if he returns from the desert like a phoenix out of the flames, right? With Colson Montgomery smacking the shit out of the ball, and he gets promoted like as easily as Treasy thinks he will, then Ryan Fuller is going to be a savior until we work through this rebuild and we get somebody that's even better. But this is, I think this is his project. He's going to go in and do it. Now, I was not shocked, Loaf, that he is having to do this because Colson Montgomery has been a constant disappointment for 3 years for me. So, like, listen, if there's one person I know, and I know is not performing well, it's him, because you hear about him for 2 minutes at the beginning of the season, and then you don't hear about him for the rest of the season. Okay? Like, he's not hitting. He's hurt. He's got a worse back than Joe Creedy. All this fucking shit, dude. Like, I get it. All right, he sucks. I've written him off. I wrote him off a long time ago. Some people have a harder time looking at Vaughn. Same thing. You just refuse to light him off. This is your last shot, and hopefully Ryan Fuller could come up big. What do you think, Love?
When this came out, I saw some people, oh, good, great. They're taking him down there to go work on him. And my initial thought was, one of two things happen here. Number one, whatever hitting program they gave him in the offseason said, Colson, this is the shit we need you to work on or whatever. He didn't get done. He still sucks at the thing that they told him you need to work on and get better at.
Yeah.
Not because of the injury, or it could be whatever. Maybe he doesn't work hard enough. Maybe he's too stupid to pick it up. I have no idea. We're not going to speculate on all that. Or a second part of his swing is more fucked up than they thought before. So maybe he worked on stuff, and pitchers are exploiting him in an even different, more exciting and fucked up way that they also have to fix. Or both of them could be working at the same time. But I was like, this might be way worse than we initially.
Way too much thought
on what's going on here. Now, I like the idea of them nipping in the bud and just saying, look, we're taking you out of action. We're going to go work on this stuff, and we're going to work on this in a private session. Now, and they made the point, like, a lot of times these changes get made in the offseason. And we're like, why wait? Just go take them to do it. One thing I thought about, though, with the injury and everything, they've made a point – and depending on what you read about Ryan Fuller and his thinking about hitting or whatever, is he made a point that these guys need to have a real strong core in order to hold the proper posture when they're batting, and that's something that not a lot of the White Sox hitters had going for them that they needed to improve on. I wonder how much of this is just going to be a fucking boot camp to get
Strength and conditioning.
Exactly, Tracy. It's not even about the swing. Get your fucking abs and your back and all this shit stronger. And look, we can't run you through this boot camp and expect you to play at night. You're going to be banged up when you're doing this shit. And so, yeah, there's some swinging involved, but we got to get you in shape. You ain't in good enough shape to do this. And cross my mind, like, yeah, send him out there. You send Fuller with him because obviously, yeah, you will work on some swinging. But some of it's just like, get you back in shape. Let's get your shit together because you're just not getting the goddamn thing done.
Now I'm just thinking of Ryan Fuller making Colson Montgomery chase around a chicken in the alley. It's like punching fucking big sides of beef. I'm loving this beef. I'm in on this.
Timothy Maher writes, speaking of Vaughn, maybe they take him into the desert and just play him in right for no good fucking reason. I had to restrain myself from retweeting Merck's tweet because I'm like, I don't want Merck to catch any shit, and I consider Merck a friend of the 108. And, he trusted me enough to take him into Reggie's green room and knew I wasn't going to murder him. So I like him. But I wanted to be like, is there room for one more? Please take Vaughn, too. He needs to fix his shit also. But I did not tweet that. But I was thinking it for sure.
Absolutely. And I agree with Alex Rude. Fixing Colson is one hell of a showcase to show how different they are. Absolutely. And I think even just the tweet that they made to Miguel Vargas that has Miguel Vargas on an 8-game hitting streak is just like, That didn't happen before. Like we didn't see that with the last group. Like they weren't fixing anyone's fucking. It was Jose Abreu trying to fix everyone's everything. You know, here's an iPad. Here, dude, try this, try that.
iPad.
You know, exactly. That was all the shit they had back then. So
where's your porn, Poppy?
I would not gonna discourage anyone from shitting all over the White Sox and everything they're doing right now. But I do see little things that look like improvements to me. All right, next topic here, and you know, I didn't mean to start no shit. You know, I mean, I meant to start some shit with my other tweet, but this tweet I absolutely did not mean to start any shit. And let me see, where did I put this goddamn thing?
Did I fuck it up? I don't think I.
Maybe you deleted it. Did you?
No, I didn't delete anything.
Hang on, let me. Oh, there it is.
I put all my stuff at the end.
I put a tweet up the other night about Andrew Vaughn and Tim Elko, and I said, look, I'm the original Andrew Vaughn hater. I have the pelts on the wall, and I like to bring this back up because too many people got too comfy with. They hate Andrew Vaughn now, but they were sucking his dick the last 4 years. I have not been. I have been Andrew Vaughn stinks for the whole time. I want to make sure that the younger kids know that. But I said, and I really like Tim Elko. And we as a group have liked Tim Elko just because he was big and goofy and could hit the ball far.
Right.
But I asked the question on Twitter, is Elko's upside really higher than Vaughn's? Or are we just kind of fucking arguing about nothing here? My Sox Summer, what do you think? Is Tim Elko's upside higher than Vaughn's? Or are we just having like a semantic argument of like, we're sick of that asshole, so give me the new asshole kind of thing?
I wanted to respond to your tweet, and unfortunately I took too much time because you'd already walked it back by the time I was going to respond to it. Like you had said, hey, you know, this is just, I'm okay, whatever you said. I'm like,
when I walked it back, I swear to God, the only reason I walked it back even a little bit is I just wanted to post this image.
Oh,
if you notice, I posted that image in it, right? I was just kind of making a joke. So
the blue legs under that lady always freak me out. Like, where are who is back there? Where is this person? Does that guy have 3 legs?
Do you not know what that is from?
MSS? No, I know what it's from.
Then you would know what the blue legs underneath are.
But I thought there was like, well, I haven't seen the video. I just saw like the screen.
You don't know what it's from.
Oh my God!
No, I haven't watched it. I gotta watch the video.
This feels like a MSS video.
All right.
I can't believe you.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on.
It's gonna be exhausting.
Let me.
We'll flip it over to Trees then on this question.
No, because I have a good answer.
Okay,
I feel I don't have a good answer on the pornographic, but I do have a good answer about Tim Elko. It wasn't so much the is his upside better. Right now, Andrew Vaughn is not performing the way Andrew Vaughn should. And Andrew Vaughn should not have been rewarded with a $5 million extension in the offseason. He should not continually be up there, not even batting his weight. I don't think he should be here. And if it was anybody else, you would get him the fuck out of here. And I'm convinced that it's like one of these weird things where like, well, no, he's going to succeed because we want him to succeed. He has it in him. Okay, great. But you know what? Let him go find it somewhere else, not find it at the major league level, and bring another guy in. Just get a change of scenery for Vaughn for a couple minutes. Okay. Let him fucking go out. And I know I've said it, but go get a slump buster. Go have some fun. Just relax for 5 minutes and then play the game again. All right. Because usually by the end of the season, Andrew Vaughn is fine, right? Like he's hitting home runs and he's better than he is at the beginning of the season.
He's usually the mediocre, crappy first baseman he always is by the end of the year. Yeah,
he's not even that right now. And that's what's
terrible right now.
That's what's horrible. And then to complicate this even more is you have a guy in the minors that's hitting the shit out of the ball and is doing the things to get rewarded, to be brought up and to put up there, and you're not doing it. So you're not showing the things that you should show as a front office and as a coaching staff. You should not be rewarded for shitty play. You should be rewarded for good play. And Tim Elko should get a shot. Now, does that give him? Is he going to be a fucking all-star first baseman for the Chicago White Sox? Probably not. But neither is Andrew Vaughn. Okay, neither one of those two is in that slot. But I need a change of scenery, and Vaughn could come back and he could be fine. But I just need him out for a little bit because he sucked, and I don't want to see it anymore. I want Tim Elko right now.
Teresa, what do you think?
So, Beef, you posed this question, and I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, I want to look this up because you're looking at what Tim Elko is, right? And Tim Elko is a first base DH guy. There's not a lot of defensive value there. So I wanted to see, like, what is the upside of that position when you strike out a lot, right? And so, unfortunately, Baseball Reference is weird. You can't do strikeout percentage, so you have to do like at bat to strikeout.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
So I use that, and this is kind of hard to see, but like the guys that are up there in terms of like overall WAR, you're looking at guys that have like either like insane power, like Jack Cust and Chris Davis. I would say like Franmil Reyes is maybe the high end version of what Elko could be, or in Chris Carter, Eric Thames, where if the power comes through, that's the high end, right?
Yep.
And there is some value there, and the value is very short-lived in all of these guys. And in fact, when you look at this list, and I only have like the top 20 here, but when you look at this list, it's all pretty recent, but like a lot of the guys are like under 100 games in the pros, right? Like it's a short-lived thing. Even the guys that are up towards the top, right? Like you're looking at like 500, 600, 700 games in the pros. They last 4 or 5 seasons, maybe. And they play a lot because they don't really exude a lot of energy other than playing a position badly or DHing. But that's what it is. So you are really looking at, can we catch lightning in a bottle with this guy and get a whole bunch of home runs out of him in the short period of time? So
absolutely.
That's why you could see from the Sox standpoint where they would be a little iffier on this is like the high end version of this is Franmil Reyes, right? And it's like, how important is that to your team? Or can we finally unlock Vaughn? But unlocking Vaughn is, to me, it's over. I think they still feel like there's still potential there to do it. But that's kind of the problem, is that when you look at what the high end of this is, it's low.
It's low, yeah.
It's a low ceiling. But I think as fans, it's totally reasonable for us to go, fucking Eric Thames is way more palatable than Andrew Vaughn.
Yes.
Right? Chris Carter, who like we all know Chris Carter because he was here for a bit. So like we followed his career, tons of strikeouts, low batting average, but can knock the shit out of the ball. And that is in itself more exciting than what Andrew Vaughn is.
Right.
And I think that's from a fan perspective, that's where I think a lot of us are. And there's not a lot of options on this team. And the problem is I think we're not looking at it like, okay, Andrew Vaughn versus Tim Elko. Maybe it's neither. What happens if neither of them are there and you move Matt Theis to first base and then you bring up Teal or you bring back Corey Lee? It's still a better team than what you have with Andrew Vaughn. And I think that's the thing. It's just a tiny smidge better. But Jesus Christ, we got 8 wins. I'll take a tiny bit better than anything.
Let's push it a little bit. I mean, good arguments, both of you. And I agree. From a fan standpoint, me as a fan, yes, I want to see Tim on. We've been saying it since, before the year. We were like, oh, man, we'd love to see him get an opportunity this year. Jackie Treehorn asked the question. He says, is Vaughn rosterable on another team? And I think some of the reason why the reticence not to send him down is if they could turn him and get him back to Vaughn plus, so a little better than what he was, saying that they fixed things or whatever. There was some trade interest last year, apparently, allegedly. So they think that there might be some opportunity to flip him here. If you send him to Charlotte for a month, you minimize that shot, right? Because the guy's not here, he's not proving it in the pros. And so I understand, like, you're like, that's weak form or whatever. But remember, they're stockpiling Rule 5 guys right now. Like, this is we're trying to accumulate stuff. So like, that's probably part of the calculus, I'm guessing.
I'm with MSS here though, because it's a shot at 3 a.m. at the 4 a.m. bar, and it's like we're not bringing home a winner here.
What is the fucking yes? There's literally where is his trade capital high now? Right? Like you're like, oh,
Oh, he goes down to work on his swing, and now he's untouchable to another fucking team? Fuck you. He's untouchable right now. No one wants his shit now. And they're lying. They're lying when they say that his trade capital, like somebody was interested. No one was interested. No one was interested in that goofy-looking motherfucker. And then they see the stats. I mean, but although maybe some people got cucked by those end of the season heroics, by Andrew Vaughn, like when he showed up and he's fucking halfway decent out there. But I mean, he's not a good base. He's not good at first base. There was a huge thread on Reddit and they were talking about, is he the biggest bust in draft history for the White Sox? And the consensus was no, he's not. But in the newer regime, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. What?
Yeah, I'm saying I would think he would be, wouldn't he?
Who would be the biggest bust then?
So it was like
they go back to like 1976.
Joe Boshard. Borchard. I don't know. Hold on. I'll figure it. I'll get him. But go ahead.
Right.
Go to the next.
Last question here, and it's a two-parter. But the White Sox are expecting a couple guys back this week. In fact, Chase Meidroth did come back today, Treasy, and I'm so proud of Chris Getz. I'm so proud of him. They did the fake IL. The guy played yesterday and said, "Oh, your hip is fucked, man. You got to go to 10 to L. We'll figure this out later."
That error fucked him
and you tweeted out, you're like, "This is how you maintain a Rule 5 guy on your roster." Absolutely. Fucking right. Let's go. But they put him on the IL and so that they could get Chase back in here. And they're going to be doing some little juggling of the 40-man in this roster. But Josh Rojas started his rehab this week down in Charlotte, played a couple games. Treasy, who's got to go when Josh Rojas comes back?
I mean, I think it's going to make me sad personally, but I think it might be Bobby Dahlbeck just going back down. I think that's the easiest move. I don't know if you.
They breaking up for you?
Is that me?
MSS?
Oh
no.
yeah. No, I thought I fucked
Trees
it up.
broke up a little bit. Yeah, he's a little frozen.
Joe Boshard. Is whatever. Him. A lot of people said what? So a lot of people said Moncada, which was shot down by everybody. They're like, dude, Moncada is a 5.1 WAR.
Yeah, he had some good years. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Joe Boshard is Boshard is the guy.
Borchard.
I did say it right. This is the first time. See, Gordon Beckham. They bring up Gordon Beckham, but Gordon Beckham was at least good in the field.
Like trying to go back to the other point.
Side. He had one side.
All right. So Bobby Dahlbeck, Treasy. Yeah, I think you're right. I think
it's just the easiest.
I the easy one. Thanks, asshole.
My bigger question, and I think this is probably your next question, Beef, is that are they going to play Rojas at short?
Yeah. So I took a look at so the first lineup he's in Charlotte, Treasy, they put him at shortstop in the starting lineup. I was like, oh my god, they're going to make that big fucked up toe, that broken toe, play shortstop. And when I looked at the box score, not for the whole game. They switched him out of there. They put Tristan Gray at short later on in the game, that first game. His second game, they played him at second. So they're already kind of unsure if they're going to put him in. My guess is he doesn't see very much shortstop. My guess is when he comes up, if they get rid of Bobby Dahlbeck, obviously then you have a natural shortstop in Amaya around, and you have Meidroth and Baldwin who can both fake it too. So you got three guys here, no big deal, right? If they eventually dump Amaya, maybe in a pinch you see him there, but I think they're kind of getting comfortable with finding spots where the skill set of either Meidroth or Baldwin works against the opponent at short, and they'll just kind of live with it because they're at their wits' end with having no offense out of Amaya.
Other names, Courtney Hawkins, Carson Fulmer, which I had to go back and look because he was drafted very highly, and Jared Mitchell. Who was drafted right before Mike Trout. So yeah.
Beef with Rojas. If you're gonna play him at third, are you DHing Vargas? Are you putting him at first? What how are you using Rojas if you're gonna do this?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's going to happen is Lenine Sosa is going to be out of the lineup more than he had been, right? He's going to be a little more you'll hit lefties and we'll sneak in here against righties. But it does make it interesting as to the playing time. People do start getting squeezed there. And like you can put Baldwin in the outfield, but when Tauchman and some of these guys come back, then it gets really interesting, like who ends up with these spots or whatever. I don't know that they've fully made a decision on Sosa. I think Sosa's hit enough to stick around. He hits lefties enough, but he still don't walk. And he's been pretty good at second. I think you can play first, but Sosa's not a shortstop. Like you can't use him there either. So it'd be interesting to see what they end up doing.
Yeah. Also, let's not pretend that nobody in the outfield is going to get injured. Okay. We're going to,
or that Luis at some point doesn't get traded. I mean,
right.
Yes,
okay. You're right. Let's think positively. Luis continues on what he did today and he gets traded. All right. He's going to be a great New York Yankee.
That would be good shit. Boys, I think it's time for thank yous and GFYs. My Sox summer. Thank you or GFY.
I am going to do a thank you, and it is a thank you for people in the future to all the people that are going to show up at Cork and Carry at the park on May 18th at 12 p.m. That's right. Your boys are doing a watch party for the Sox versus the Cubs. There are going to be drink specials. There are going to be prizes, but you will not get those prizes by playing bingo. We were not playing bingo. We tried to play bingo once. Beefloaf kept saying I-69 over and over and over. It made everyone uncomfortable, so we do not do bingo. But, and we also, I think we'll have a special announcement that we will make that day too. But just everyone be ready. Come through. Sox, Cubs, Cork and Carry at the park, May 18th at 12 p.m. Now, Cork is not a big bar, okay? So if you want to come in and listen to us, you better get there early. All right. You better do that. But if you don't want to listen to us and you still want to come, a ton of outdoor seating. And they're going to open those big windows up. And you can look in and you can watch the game and get drunk, get a tan responsibly on both fronts.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So please pencil that in right now. May 18th, 12 p.m. Sox vs. Cubs with your boys from the 108 at Cork at the Park.
Treasy, thank you, or GFY, my friend.
Oh man, I just want to GFY everyone getting off that plane. Fuck all of you. You're all terrible at being humans. That's it for me.
God, I like that you went all the way around on that. I appreciate you.
Very good.
I'd like to thank White Sox Twitter for getting behind my crazy tweet from Tuesday that said Lawrence Holmes got Shane Reardon fired from 670 and Josh Nelson got us fired from Ramova. Is it an absolute fact? No. Are there elements of truth there? Maybe. But I appreciate the engagement from the 108 and community and riding along that roller coaster ride. I love all of you. Thanks. We'll see you guys soon. And
tomorrow.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
In the city of Chicago, back in the day, there was a ball player. They called him Jizz. They said playing for the White Sox, he had a certain flair. He hit 69 home runs, man, that ain't fair. He swung that bat like a wild tornado storm. Every time he stepped up, he smashed it. It was the norm. The ladies in the stands, they couldn't help but stare. The legend of Alejandro Jizz spreading everywhere. Ooh, Alejandro Jizz got the magic touch. On the field, he was a king.